All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Basham, Yahweh, Basham, Raka, Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all your sincere Kel. And this is your brother Abba. I'm back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Basham, Yahweh, Basham, Raka, Kwadash. All praises and glory is due. And yeah, this the big thing that's going on right now are the results of the United States general elections, right? So Babylon the Great has selected a new president for itself, and it's just funny to see how deeply that non-Americans and non-Babylonian citizens care so much about the results of these general elections, and because in different group chats, different people on my contacts have just been talking about the results of this election since when the votes started pouring in up till now, and really just shows you just how deeply the influence of Babylon the Great goes, and it shows you that America has to be Babylon the Great, because what other nation has as much influence and they're basically just that, has as much influence in world affairs than America, Babylon the Great? Because let's get something right, okay? It should not be a surprise to anybody that other peoples and other nations and other countries are so concerned with the results of the elections in Babylon the Great, because whoever becomes selected as the president in Babylon the Great, whatever they do and whatever they push and whatever way they go affects the rest of the world, and affects the rest of the world, because you know even with BRICS coming up, right, and the elites slowly pushing away the dollar, it still the policies of America, Babylon the Great, still has an effect on the world, which is why the scriptures goes into that. Let's start from that precept in the book of Revelation, the 17th chapter. So this is the book of Revelation 17, verse 4. And right. Revelation 17, verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of the abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Right, and this is speaking of America, Babylon the Great. And let me just, go to the main point right here. So, okay, just go to the main point right here. Okay. So, this is the book of Revelation 17, verse 1. I should have started from the top. Revelation 17, verse 1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed a fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of our fornication. Right. And that's the point right there. The inhabitants of the earth, in other words, all the nations and kindreds and tongues and people, have been drunken by the way, or Salakia, with the ways of America, Babylon the Great. And that is why you see the influence of America and the influence of US foreign policy, which is exactly the reason why, everybody is so concerned about who gets elected, or I should say, Salakia, selected as the president of America, Babylon the Great. Of course, the vast majority of people that are so concerned about the US general elections don't really know don't really know or understand US foreign policy and the way in which Babylon the Great deals with the rest of the world. And this is exactly it here, by spreading wickedness, right? All the doctrines and philosophies that are being, you know, spoken of in the scriptures metaphorically as wine, because the wine that Babylon the Great pushes is the doctrine, the philosophies, the practices, and the ways. When you see what is being promoted by America, Babylon the Great, which is basically all these wicked alternative lifestyles and practices, right? But that's not the main point that I'm going into right now. The main point that I even wanted to get to was basically just how just how ridiculous, right? This current election has been, and you see the meltdown on social media. All these jakes that were thinking that they could vote in Harris, right? Kamala Harris to become the new president, just melting down on Twitter, talking about how it's over. Oh, Trump is in office and this and that and so on and so forth. And it just shows you just how ridiculous our people are. And realistically, how ridiculous and stupid the average Babylonian is. Because even the scriptures gives you, you know, the format in which you use to vote in a leader, right? Especially when it comes into elections. And first and foremost, voting is going off in the first place because those votes don't matter, right? But the point being, first and foremost, is this: that you Israelites, okay, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the scattered Israelites that are scattered throughout Babylon the Great, because that is where we're focusing on right now, right, should not have even bothered voting in this election because first and foremost, there has never been a time where an Israelite has been has run in office, right? Which of course, I'm just saying that this is just me speaking as a man, right? Because there might be actually have been some of these Edomite presidents or these Edomite looking presidents that may have been jakes. Like the only one I can even think of is possibly John F. Kennedy, right? But that's pretty much it. Barack Obama wasn't a Jake, right? He was a Hamite. So it could even have been an Edomite, considering that I think his father was I think either his father or his mother was an Edomite, right? Kamala Harris, the same thing. She might even be a small heart, an Amalekite, and her husband is also an Amalekite as well. But that shows you, how that shows you what America, Babylon the Great truly is, and this is something that the men of the Lord have been trying to make cause our people to understand, or to make our people understand. The first and foremost, right? Let's go to the book of Micah 2, verse 10. So this is the book of Micah 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sword destruction. Understand something. America, Babylon the Great is not a country for you Israelites, not a country for you Israelites, not for you so-called Negroes, not for you so-called Latinos, not for you so-called Native and Seminole Indians. America is not your country. Forget about the fact they are walking around with U.S. citizenship. Oh, I've been in this country since my ancestors have been in this country since it was established, right, in 1776, since it was just the 13 colonies. Oh, I'm a Native American, I'm native to this land. All that doesn't matter, right? Because America is an Edomite nation and it is for Edomites. And that is a fact, right? And it's not set up and it was never set up in any way for the benefit of you Israelites, you so called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and you scattered Israelites that are scattered all throughout America, but rather it was set up, right, to build itself off of your victimization. And that's why America, Babylon the Great, makes so much money out of victimizing you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, right? So this is not the country that you belong to. And also, like I said, when it comes to the U.S. general elections, Jake should have never been voting in the first place. And let me go to the book of Deuteronomy, the 17th chapter, and let's jump on the. Okay, this is Revelation 17, so okay. What I meant to get was Deuteronomy 17. So this is the book of Deuteronomy 17, and I'll start from verse 14. Deuteronomy 17, verse 14. When thou art come unto the land which Jehovah thy power giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom Yahweh thy power shall choose. Right. So the first point being is that before you can even think of, electing or selecting or choosing a leader, it has to be in a land in which you are settled in and in which you control, right? And it goes without saying and it doesn't need to be said who controls America or Babylon the Great. It's Esau, Edom, the so-called red man, that is ruling over the earth currently, and all the other nations in the world are still controlled by Esau Edom. So even here in Nigeria, that's predominantly Jake, Esau controls it, right? Whether it's Latin America or South America, Esau controls it. Whatever part of the world that you are in, it it is being controlled by Esau Edom, specifically the elites of Esau Edom. Case in point, right? Or you might say you might make the argument that Esau doesn't have that much influence or control over the world, right? But the pandemic proves that is false, right? You go back to the pandemic and what happened in 2020 over to 2021. Whatever, all the nations were forced to go into lockdown, all the nations were forced to get the juice and juice up their people. And when the country Haiti, right, the president decided to go against that, what happened to him? And that shows you who is in control of this world right now, and that is Esau Edom. And that's why you Jakes, are in the position they are in. But Jake keeps forgetting the situation that their current situation, right? Because none of these um Babylonians they are choosing for yourself, whether it's Trump, whether it's Harris, none of them are for you. And they were never set up to benefit, and their presidency, their regime was not set up to benefit you Israelites, right? Because this is not your kingdom. This is not your rest. Now, continuing on, Deuteronomy 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom Yahweh thy power shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother, right? And who is your brother, right? Not just, oh, they're an Israelite, so that makes them, a brother. No, it's also, going into what the Lord Yahweh Shai said. Let me get that precept. Let me bring that out. So this is the book of Matthew 12, verse 50. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. And that is, who, and that is who your brother is, going into when to choose a leader for yourself. It's not just about, oh, they are an Israelite as well, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, Indian. Their bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because you have to understand, especially in these last days, they are not all Israel which are of Israel. But this is beside the point. This is just going into something else. It's going into the folly of voting for a presidential candidate, the folly of trying to select one of these candidates to be a president over you, because it doesn't matter who you select, man. At the end of the day, they are all pushing towards the same thing. And that is just really, and that's just really the beauty of being in this truth, because that's the reason why I'm making this video right now. It's not about, oh, Trump won or Kamala Harris won, and now you, Jake, and this and that. No, it is a video, to praise the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, call Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Hashem Rakakodash, because these kind of events make you appreciate being in this truth. Because once you're in this truth, you realize the truth, and it's that it doesn't matter who gets in office. Kamala gets in office, nothing changes. Trump gets in office, nothing changes, and it was proven more than ever, right, in this election, because you had a lot of jigs that were even talking about that Democrats don't care, the Republicans don't care, doesn't matter who is in office, it's still going to be a terrible situation for Jake. So better to just sit at home and not even bother voting at all, right? And more Jakes than ever was doing that. They just sat at home and said, they're not even voting at all, because now more and more people are starting to realize just how much of a waste of time this whole politics thing is. And thinking about voting a president, you can't vote in change, because at the end of the day, these politicians are set up to push and fulfill the agendas of Esau Edom, because they are puppets. Trump is a puppet. You look at these Trump supporters, and they're thinking that Trump is going to be their guy and push their agenda and promote their narrative, and you're just laughing. You look at the same thing with these Kamala supporters and think that they're going that, oh, Kamala is their girl, she's going to promote their agenda, and you just laugh because you realize that the only agenda that is being pushed are the elites of Esau Edom, right? And ultimately, the only agenda that is being pushed is the agenda of the Most High, Yahweh Sham Yahshai, Ba'asham Raka Kodash. And that is really the true agenda that is being pushed, of course, on the left hand side. But it is still the will of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, that is being done. And hey, seeing Trump getting in office, when it first happened, right? When I first heard the news, I was super excited because I was like, oh yeah, this is it. This has to be it, right? All hell is about to break loose. Trump is going to get up there, do something crazy in his first 100 days, right? And that will eventually cause, things to start speeding towards prophecy. So now Jacob's trouble comes in, and the elite see, oh, Jacob's trouble, problem, reaction, solution, Hegelian dialectic on the go, right? Then they bring in the MOTB that, oh, this is the solution right here for this Jacob's trouble problem that is brewing, right? And then force mandate that MOTB all over the world. And, hey, everything will just move sharp, sharp like that. World War Three, the return of our Lord Yahweh, and then we are fucking out of here, man. And excuse my French, but hey, we're just trying to get up. We're out of this wicked ass demonic ass kingdom, right? So going into 2025, you already know what is going to happen, man. And a lot of people are even saying that this is the last, election night that will take place in Babylon the Great. And hey, I can really see that, Lord, really, man. But you can see that, and this is definitely going to be the last one, because with the amount of tension that is brewing currently all over the world, this has to be the last go around on these these US elections, man. So yeah, let me get this precept. This is the book of Matthew 13, verse 17, and it reads, for verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. And this is a great time to be alive, really, because the things that we are experiencing, the things that we are seeing, are things that, many of the men of the Lord have hoped to see. After all, it's not written that, I've forgotten the exact passage it is in, but they wish to see the days of the Son of Man and be glorified. I've forgotten the precept, but let me just leave it at that. Let me just leave it at that. But hey, these are great times that we're in right now, because this is the point where you can say, yup, all hell decided to break loose. All hell is about to break loose. Shit is about to hit the fan. Things are about to get so much worse in Babylon the Great. And it's not because Trump is in office, is because that is just how Bible prophecy was going to play out. Doesn't matter whether Trump or Kamala was in office, we would still be saying the exact same thing. I would still be doing the exact same video that, oh, Kamala got put in office. I'm excited as hell right now because all hell is about to break loose. So it's not a matter of who gets put in office, because that is insignificant, right? The president, the winner of the elections, is insignificant, because at the end of the day, we are still going in the same direction, which is towards Bible prophecy. And what Bible prophecy states is that this kingdom, Esau Edom's rulership, is going down. And guess what? The president that was just elected is just going to ensure that it goes down even more speedily. So with that, I'll end the video right there. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Raka, Kodash, Wa Abad Baba, Shalom.